Okay, it is 5:07. We are recording. April 26, 2021, Committee of the Whole meeting. Please be advised that on Monday, April 26, 2021 at 5 p.m. there will be a Committee of the Whole meeting held through remote participation. The purpose of the meeting is to identify the members of an advisory committee to rename the Columbus Elementary School. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order, imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Medford School Committee will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and a requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the City of Medford website at www.medfordma.org. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen or watch the meeting may do so by accessing the meeting link contained herein. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the City of Medford or Medford Community Media websites an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. The meeting can be viewed through Medford Community Media on Comcast Channel 22 and Verizon Channel 43 at 5 p.m. You can call in by using 1-929-205-6099. Please enter meeting ID 981-8862-5305 when prompted. Additionally, questions or comments can be submitted during the meeting by emailing medfordsc@medford.k12.ma.us. Those submitting must include the following information: your first and last name, your Medford Street address, your question or comment. The agenda will be as follows: creation of an advisory committee to rename the Columbus Elementary School. Do you all want me to read the policy as outlined on page 2, 3, and 4? Okay. Dr. Edwin Vincent, should I read the? I can read. It will take me a few minutes, but advisory committee selection on April 26, 2021, a committee of the whole will be held to select and confirm the 23 voting members advisory committee and 1 ex officio member as follows. Up to 3 selected from the Columbus school staff, Principal Kathy Kay, and the 1 MHS student will be announced. Each school committee member will select 2 members for the advisory committee from the valid applications received and will state the names publicly. In the event that an applicant is selected by more than 1 school committee member, the members will continue to name applicants until a total of 14 advisory committee members have been named by the school committee. 3 additional names will be selected by lottery from the remaining applicants. One of the mayor's appointments will serve as chair of the advisory committee. The chair will be responsible for scheduling meetings, posting meetings, chairing meetings, and organizing a presentation to the school committee once the final names are determined. The chair will be a voting member of the advisory committee. The mayor will announce the chair of the committee prior to the selection of other members. Current school committee members will not be considered for this position. In the event that the committee membership reaches an even number, the mayor will make an additional selection from the pool of applicants. The mayor will reach out to the Historical Society, Historical Commission, and our district commission to enlist the help of a member who will serve as a resource to the advisory committee. The historian will be an ex officio non-voting member. Participation by the Columbus school staff and students. In recognition that the staff and students in the Columbus school are dedicated to their school, the school committee requests the principal to create a representative group of staff and solicit input from their colleagues. Additionally, student input is highly desirable, and if it is feasible, student participation will be encouraged in any way the principal deems to be workable in this very short period of time. By April 16th, 2021, the principal of the Columbus school or designee, as well as up to 3 staff members selected by peers, will be appointed as voting members to the advisory committee. Families of the Columbus Elementary School community are urged to apply for membership on the advisory committee through the public application process or to submit their suggestions via the suggestion form. By April 16th, 2021, a Medford High School student who attended the Columbus School is a member of the CCSR and who is able to make the time commitment will be selected by his or her peers to be a member of the advisory committee. In the event there is no applicant interested in the role, the principal of Medford High School may select another member of the high school community. Work of the advisory committee. At the April 26th Committee of the Whole meeting, a list of the names submitted for consideration will be made public and forwarded to the advisory committee. A file containing the emails from community members on the topic of the renaming will be made available to the advisory committee members so that all advisory committee members are aware of the opinions and concerns expressed by our community. The advisory committee will develop criteria for evaluating the names. The advisory committee will determine the process for vetting the names, narrowing the field, and submitting no more than 3 finalists to the school committee. Press relations will be directed through the advisory committee chair, and members of the advisory committee are urged to send press contacts to the chair. Advisory committee meetings are public meetings and must follow all requirements of the open meeting law. The superintendent will provide a note taker and create minutes. It is expected that the advisory committee will need to meet 3 to 5 times, and a majority of voting members will be required to reach a quorum for the meeting. The advisory committee will hold at least 1 public hearing or issue 1 public input survey to solicit feedback on the opinions they are considering per the charge of this resolution at least one of their meetings. Advisory committee members may withdraw from participation by notifying the chair and will not be counted in subsequent quorum and voting requirements. Removal of a member is permitted by a majority vote of the advisory committee. The chair will notify the remaining members of the advisory committee of the reduction in membership. No new members will be added to the advisory committee due to vacancies. While consensus is always preferred, a simple majority of the total number of advisory committee members will be required to select up to 3 names that will be forwarded to the school committee. A majority vote of the total number of committee members and not a vote of the quorum present is required for this vote. The advisory committee will present their recommendations for the new names of the Columbus Elementary School no later than May 24th, 2021. A presentation will be given explaining the way that the recommendation was arrived at and why the selected names were chosen. If a majority of the advisory committee votes to recommend a timeline change to the school committee, they may do so. At that time, the school committee will vote to approve or decline this recommendation. Timeline changes shall not exceed a date of July 31st, 2021. Final selection of the new name. Once the Medford School Committee has received the names and presentation, the committee will vote either that evening or at a subsequent meeting, not later than June 7th, 2021, to approve the recommendation. Given the authority for naming of public school buildings, the school committee's authority alone per Mass General Law. Signed, very truly yours, Dr. Maurice Edward Vincent, Superintendent of Schools. Member McLaughlin, if you could take the roll, please.
Sorry, hold on. Member Graham.
Here.
Member Kretz.
Here.
Member McLaughlin here. Member Mastone.
Here.
Member Russo.
Here.
Member Vanderkloot.
She's, okay, there you go.
There we go. Here, sorry, I was muted.
Member Lungo-Karn. Mayor Lungo-Karn.
Present, 7 present, 0 absent. We can get right to it. I don't know if Dr. Edward Vincent, if you want to just announce how the process will go, or if you want me to.
I was going to say if we would start with you, Mayor, we'd like to start with you selecting the chair before we proceed to the next section, which would be the random number generator.
Okay, so we're going to start with the chair, and then we're going to pick 3 out of the 68 applicants randomly by lottery.
Yes.
And then each member will pick 1 person, and then we'll go for a second round. And then after that, we can announce Principal Kathy Kay what her decision was on,
Yes.
on her portion. I'm choosing the chair from the applicants, Mr. Jim Lister, who I believe is on and has accepted verbally and is ready to take this role of chairing a committee of 23.
Okay. So we will have that recorded. Susie, Miss Weiss will be recording on the actual spreadsheet, and Dr. Cushing is going to start screen share the random number generator so that we are able to select the first 3 candidates that will be added.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to quickly show everybody the lottery numbers for this evening. We will cut and paste these into the chat momentarily so that everybody can see them. I'll just finish the scroll up now for the recording. Okay. And then the random number generator is at random.org. The minimum number is set to number 1. The maximum number is 68. And so I will now generate the first number. All right. So the first number is 35. I will now generate the second number. Next number is 63. And I will now generate the final number. That number is 46. And I will now put that in the chat and stop the screen share.
So at this time, what I'll do, 35, 63, and 46, I am going to announce who those 3 people are. Number 35 is Kim Nicolosi, and please forgive me if I do pronounce your name incorrectly. I'm sorry, not Kim. No, I'm sorry. Random number generator. If you can screen share it, I'm sorry. Kim Nicolosi is 34. Number 35 is Laura Rotolo. Laura Rotolo. Number 63 is Ronald Giovino. Ronald Giovino is number 63. And number 46 is Maria Rocha. Maria Rocha. Those 3 individuals, number 35, I was looking in the wrong column, but number 35 is Laura Rotolo. So those are the first 3 individuals that have been selected. I am going to ask Member McLaughlin if she would please use the roll call. And as she calls each school committee member will give a name, and that name, your selected choice will be identified on the spreadsheet.
Mayor,
McLaughlin.
Member Rousseau?
I believe you were going to actually name your second person before we continued. I thought
No,
that.
we're gonna try to do the 7, do it through the roll call, and have the mayor, since she just gave us the chair, have the mayor be the last person and do it in ABC order, like we're in a regular meeting. Member McLaughlin?
Actually, I was going to ask if we could, well, there's no rule that says we have to do it in ABC order for the roll call. So I was going to ask if we can do it that way on the first, and then on the second choice, if we can go in reverse alphabetical. So then folks that are last aren't feeling left out, or is that an issue for people?
I'd rather do it the other way.
Just do it. I would say do it.
Okay. That's fine. Whatever you guys want. Hold on one sec. Member Graham.
Grace Caldera.
Member Kretz.
Paul Donato Jr.
Member McLaughlin, Brianna Brothers. Member Mastone.
Ken Mallon.
Member Rousseau.
Aaron Genia.
Member Vandekloot.
Beth Fuller.
Okay, and then we do want it, Mayor Longo-Kern.
Melissa McGill.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to just check to make sure we have all people selected. I won't say it in reverse order, but for Member McLaughlin, you selected, is it Bree Brothers?
Yes.
Member Rousseau selected Erin Genia. Member Vanderklut selected Beth Fuller. Member Graham selected Grace Caldara. And Member Mastone selected Kenneth Mallon. And Mayor selected Melissa Miguel.
Yes.
And Superintendent, you didn't make my announcement?
I'm sorry, I'm still scrolling down, sorry.
Okay.
Member Krutz selected Paul Donato Jr. And yes, that's everyone's first vote.
And I just want to let you know, Superintendent and Mayor, I am also doing the tally like we normally do. So I'll send that to Susie and those folks as well. So we have that too.
Thank you, Member McLaughlin. Would you mind doing it one more time for us?
Not at all. Hold on one second. Okay. I'm sorry, I have to look at my list too, because we have to, if others choose them. So I'm trying to multitask here. Bear with me. Okay, Member Graham.
Seth Hill.
Excuse me, Member Kratz.
Lou Intapa.
Member McLaughlin, Henrik Gideon. Member Mastone.
Pat McCabe.
Member Rousseau.
A moment, please. Leroy LaFleur,
Sorry, can you say that again?
Leroy LaFleur,
Thank you. Member Vanderklut.
Kristen Scalisi.
Mayor Longo Kern.
Dan Puccio.
Okay. Do you need me to read those back, Superintendent, or are you?
Yes, could you please say them one more time back to me? And I just want to make sure they're marked on the spreadsheet.
Okay. Member Graham chose Seth Hill.
Okay,
Member Kretz chose Lou Intapa.
mhm,
Melanie McLaughlin chose Henrik Gideons. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, Member Mastone chose Pat McCabe.
Okay,
Member Rousseau chose Leroy LaFleur.
okay,
Member Vanderklut chose Kristen Scalisi.
okay.
Mayor Longo Kern chose Dan Puccio.
Okay. Thank you, Member McLaughlin. We have all of those choices documented at this point in time. I would like us to select 3 alternates using the random number generator, just in case. And so we will have our 3 alternates and we'll identify them as alternate 1, alternate 2, and alternate 3.
Mayor,
Yes, Member Graham.
I believe that our motion, as it was being reread, really explicitly says there'll be no like fill-ins or late additions. So I'm not sure that having alternates is in the spirit of what we outlined. So I just want to be clear about that before we randomly pick individuals.
Okay.
Mayor.
Let's say something about 1. Let me just reread. Member Rousseau.
I also am not comfortable with additional alternates. We were very clear in the language that we will not be backfilling. I don't know where that's coming from.
Dr. Edward Vincent, did,
I'm comfortable with that. And what I can do is just announce then all the 23 members. I will go to the other sheet and say who was identified for the Columbus School by Principal Kathy Kay. And then I will read all of the members that will be part of the advisory committee. So assigned representation will be Principal Kathy Kay, Dr. Kay. For the Columbus School representatives, we will have Matthew Habistra, Caitlin Shaughnessy, and Janelle Gollin McKenzie. And our high school representative, who would have been a student who attended the Columbus School, is Josie Dufour. So I will go through and list all of the members that have been selected to be part of the advisory committee.
Mayor,
Member Vanderklut?
I'd like to make a comment if you would. First, I want to thank everybody who put their name in, and I want to tell you it was very, very difficult to decide. Part of what I was looking at in my just quickly was also determining number of men and number of women, and was it what sort of names do we see? But it was very difficult to decide because there was people wrote passionately, people brought different skills. I wanted to include them all. And I really wanted just to thank the members of the public who took the step and put their names in for our consideration. We really appreciate it. And just because you weren't selected doesn't mean that you didn't have an awful lot of value to bring, because there were a lot of people left on my list who I would have loved to have included.
Thank you, Member Vanderklut. I feel the same way. We had 68 people interested in a matter of a couple weeks, and that's pretty remarkable. So it'll be a good committee of 23, and I wish you all the best of luck. I know you'll do a great job.
Yes.
And thank you to Mr. Lister, who will chair the committee.
Yes. Thank you. So I would just like to record all of the participants just for the record. Member McLaughlin, Bree Brothers, Mayor Longo Kern, Daniel Puccio, Member Rousseau, Erin Jania, Member Vanderklut, Beth Fuller, Member Graham, Grace Caldara, Member McLaughlin, Hendrik Gideones, Mayor Longo Kern, Jim Lister as the chair, Member Mastone, Kenneth Mallon, Member Vanderklut, Kristen Scalisi, random number generator, Laura Rotolo, Member Rousseau, Leroy LaFleur, Member Kretz, Lou Intapa, random number generator, Maria Rocha, Mayor Longo Kern, Melissa Miguel, Member Mastone, Patrick McCabe, Member Krutz, Paul Donato Jr., random number generator, Ronald Giovino, and Member Graham, Seth Hill. The assigned representatives that I said earlier, Dr. Kathy Kay for the Columbus School principal, Matthew Habistra, Caitlin Shaughnessy, Janelle Gollin McKenzie, and Josie Dufour, our high school representative. We will have all of the selected candidates, their names compiled in one place so everyone can see who they are.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
And each committee member will be provided, how we're going to get all the entries for new names to the committee. Will that just go to the chair? Or is that going to go to all the committee members by email? That list?
Yes, we will, tomorrow we'll send out a letter, a communication to all the members that were officially selected. And then we will work now that we know who the chair is, we can work collaboratively with Mr. Lister and with the school committee to keep you abreast of what's happening.
Great. Great. Is there a motion to adjourn? I know we have a 6 o'clock regularly scheduled meeting
Motion to adjourn.
by member Graham, seconded by member McLaughlin. Roll call.
Member Graham,
Yes.
member Kretz,
Yes.
member McLaughlin, yes. Member Mastone,
Yes.
member Rousseau,
Yes.
Mayor Longo Kern.
Yes, 7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative.
Oh, I'm sorry, member Vanderklut. I missed member Vanderklut, excuse me.
Yes, yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. Meeting is adjourned. We'll